The European Union and the United Kingdom have imposed fresh sanctions on Iranian entities, accusing Tehran of supporting Russia in its ongoing war with Ukraine. These measures target Iran's national airline, its state-run shipping line, IRSL, and several individuals allegedly involved in transferring ballistic missiles to Russia. The actions follow accusations of deepening military and economic ties between Moscow and Tehran since the war began in 2022. Iran has rejected the new sanctions imposed by the EU and the UK, labeling them baseless and grounded in false accusations. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghai condemned the measures, asserting they breach international law and disrupt legitimate trade practices.
Definitely any inappropriate action against the interests of the Islamic Republic of Iran will be faced with reciprocal reactions. Harassment by other parties through the imposition of sanctions on various sectors of Iran's economy will not go unanswered.
UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy reaffirmed the country's unwavering support for Ukraine, highlighting a multifaceted approach to counter Russia's aggression. He emphasized that the UK is employing comprehensive sanctions to disrupt Russia's war efforts, targeting areas such as oil transportation, arms supplies, and financial networks.
We are using the full force of our sanctions to constrain the Kremlin's illegal actions, from their shadow fleet of oil tankers to suppliers to their war machine, from shady kleptocrats to mercenaries destabilizing the continent of Africa. And we are stepping up our support to put Putin in a position of strength with a new loan backed by profits from sanctioned Russian assets, part of a new G7 package of $50 billion in assistance, and a commitment to £3 billion in military aid for as long as it takes.
Meanwhile, US Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield called for stronger measures against countries like Iran and North Korea, which she accused of exacerbating global instability through support for Russia.
I again call on another permanent member of this council, China, to stop stoking war on the European continent, to end enabling Russia's war effort, to cease providing dual-use goods to Russia, and to quit parroting Russian talking points to justify this war, because there is no justification. Most of all, I call on Russia to end its aggression against Ukraine and now. In the support to countries like Iran and the DPRK, support that foments instability not only in Europe, but everywhere from the Middle East to the Indo-Pacific.
On the other hand, Russian officials have denied these claims, dismissing them as an extension of Western propaganda aimed at justifying aggressive sanctions policies. Russia's ambassador to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, accused the United States of exacerbating the conflict.
And independently of the militarist agony of democratic administration, which has suffered a humiliating defeat in presidential election, lost the trust of most of its population, is now issuing, according to the mass media, suicidal permissions to Zelensky to use long-range weapons to strike inside Russia. Perhaps Joe Biden, for many reasons, has nothing left to lose. But we are astounded by the short-sightedness of the leadership of UK and France. They are eager to play into the hands of the exiting administration and are dragging not just their countries, but the entire Europe into a large-scale escalation with drastic consequences. And that is what our former Western countries should think very hard about.
The sanctions further strain already tense relations between Iran and the West as the war in Ukraine continues. Iran's alleged role in supporting Moscow highlights the broader ramifications of the conflict, extending its impact beyond Europe to regions like the Middle East and Asia-Pacific.